Hi, my name is Rudy Seitz. As a photographer, I'm fascinated by the challenge of how to create pairings or marriages between photographs that I've taken at different times and places. I'd like to share two examples of such pairings and talk about how these pairings can work and what they can achieve. As with any good couple, there's always a reason why they get along. There's something that makes them tick. There's a basis for their compatibility, and sometimes that basis is obvious, and in other cases, it's hidden and more difficult to ascertain. One spring day, I came upon this leaf glowing in the sun, and I just loved the way I could see the vein structure at the top of this image, as well as the fuzzy texture of the leaf's surface down below. One fall day, I captured this leaf glowing in the sun, having lost its chlorophyll and now displaying this brilliant orange and red. If I combine the images like this, they do seem to go together. They do please my eye. They're both leaf compositions, and so they naturally seem to belong together. I had these images in my library for many years before I finally thought to pair them in this orientation. And when I did this, I realized a happy coincidence in how the veins of these two leaves connect. So you can see the central vein of the fall leaf exits the frame at the same place where the central vein of the spring leaf enters the frame, allowing these two images to snap together almost like Lego pieces. If this is a fall image and this is a spring image, then together they combine into a larger composition that addresses the changing of the seasons. Now let's look at a marriage between two individual images where the basis of their compatibility, the reason why they connect, is less apparent. Again, I have a leaf composition. And when I first saw how this image combined with this black and white image of a piece of hardware, a screw with a circular base, I just loved how they worked together. But I couldn't explain why. I couldn't understand what was it about these two images that made them seem like they just belonged as a couple. As I considered it further, I realized that this is a couple defined by a shared value or objective. What catches my eye about this image is the way these still leaves appear to be spinning. They're in motion, and that motion extends all around the square frame. That is, in some sense, a holy grail of the kind of photography that I do. I strive to depict a still subject as moving, and I want to fill the square with that motion. This hardware image pursues the same holy grail. This still metal piece appears to be spinning, as we saw with the leaves. And so when I see these two images together, I see two things that are spinning, and that shared compositional objective binds them together in my perception. But there's something else that helps these images work together. Now, if I put them like this, again, we have two things that are spinning, but they don't quite seem to coalesce into a unified composition, for me at least, the way they do when I arrange them like this. And that's because this metal screw, when it leans into the leaf composition, it kind of carries my eye in this oval pattern, allowing me to trace an oval path through the two compositions, through the two images. And so I find my eye is guided from the hardware piece into the leaves, and then out of the leaves and back into the hardware in this oval path. Now, even though there's no explicit line or vein that connects these images, they are connected in the way they guide my eye from one image across into the other image and back in a kind of smooth, seamless pattern. Their individual spinning motions seem to combine into one larger motion. For me, the goal of pairing or marrying photographs is the same as the goal of counterpoint in music composition, where we take two independent melodies and play them at the same time, hoping to discover something new in their dialogue, hoping that these two melodies or these two images may say something to each other that they would not or could not say on their own. I'm Rudy Seitz.